Hello, everyone. Today here at Chapter 8, Motivation and Learning Together as a Class, I'm grateful for the group and what they were able to put forth. So let's begin here on extrinsic motivation. This one provides a mean to end and is derived from factors outside the person, such as recognizing from teacher, receiving a promotion at work, or earning a diploma, which all of us, I hope, are definitely aiming for. Receiving those recognitions is definitely a big motivation for many people. The next motivation that we come across is intrinsic, which is more of the internal motivation. Having the desire to achieve or master a topic, practice for the satisfaction it brings yourself, just simple practice, and leaning for the love of intellectual challenge, which intrinsic I find resonates with a lot more people that I'm around, and also that I found through these classes as more I get to know people better is the extrinsic. We come across here in Daniel Pink's 2009 book Drive and argues previous assumptions about human potential and performance are wrong. Silly quote here that we were pointed out was carrot and stick are so last century. Mr. Pink here believes that the past motivational factors a long time ago need to be upgraded to the 21st century. Businesses are changing, corporations are changing, people are changing. There's a lot of change going on. So to have those different factors upgraded definitely would benefit them as well as their newfound employees. We'll talk about here the autonomy, which is yearning to direct our own lives, controlling task, time, team, and technique. It's one that would be in the 21st century, as well as mastery and purpose. Mastery being a mindset, seeing that your abilities are something that you can improve on, or not something that will be the end, but can always be, I guess, in a sense, perfected. And then we also have that last one, purpose. Work for something larger than ourselves, and it can just be working for the corporation instead of just for yourself, trying to get that higher pay raise. Obviously, that's great, but we also, what more else can we do for the corporation or the business that we're working for? The table here for the motivation theory. We humans, we are rational, we're social, we're responsive to stimuli, whatever it is around us. We are hopefully receive those rewards and punishments. Hopefully we avoid those punishments, obviously, and we receive more rewards. And that goes with the motivation as well. I hope none of us are punished for trying, but are just retaught, in a sense. The economic rational motivation theory is another theory that we'll talk here a little bit about, and this kind of is traced back to Adam Smith, The Wealth of the Nations. This one kind of views humans as rational actors within life who seek to maximize self-interest and outcomes of high yield and economic return. For example, one that kind of sticks out definitely is the degree you seek in college due to the income you could be making versus the going to school for something that you are interested in and may yield a smaller annual income. I know, for example, that there are a couple students that I was able to get to know that they just wanted to become, I guess, radiologists. A lot of things that ended with ish. Psychologists, whatever it is, but they really didn't have any, I guess, excitement about it. It was more excitement about the money they could make. They come to find out they decided to change their major, and now they're definitely more happy with what they're doing. And money is a big factor in different things, and we'll talk a little bit about that too for the outer motivation factor would be that. But for now, there's kind of what we're talking about there. There's also the social human motivational theory. And this comes from Milton Mayo and the Hawthorne studies. It concluded that there are factors other than pay, kind of what we just discussed, that affect work motivation. This is challenging the economic model. Mayo and his colleagues argue that workers were social, being motivated by relationships versus profit maximization. And this kind of goes to another thing we'll talk about later on through motivation, is kind of who you put yourself around, what kind of social forces are you working with? Your coworkers, your manager? What kind of relationship status do you have with them? What kind of things do you guys, do you get along with each other? Is a very basic question. And sometimes we need to set aside our pride and help each other and help the business, help the corporation, or help students in anything. And that's definitely another motivation that I find to be profound. Humanist philosophy and adult learning models such as androgyny, self-directed, and social learning. Behaviorist motivation theory, brought forward by Pavlov, Thorndike, and Skinner, assumed that behavior and learning were based on a stimulus to provoke a desired response. Conditioning the learner through punishment or reward. Again, I've mentioned it before. I hope we're receiving more reward than we are punishment. As learners and students, whatever it may be, yeah, sometimes we are docked a couple points. That's not necessarily punishment, but it's a learning objective. And sometimes you can see punishment as being just a punishment or an opportunity to learn. And I hope that in whatever you are, in any situation, you take that just to learn and to really adapt to increase your knowledge. I know, for example, I can get very lazy in certain situations, and then I'm docked a few points. But it makes me learn and readapt to, okay, well, now I need to do something different. So this is kind of another just informative motivation theory that I believe a lot of us definitely use unconsciously or consciously. The need-driven motivational theory, this kind of goes back to a lot of, starting out this program, the CTE or HRD programs or organizational OLP program. It's a very basic pyramid that we've all have came across with, was Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Humans wouldn't be motivated by things that already satisfy their basic needs. Excuse me. A lot of us are influenced by family, money, a desire just to be recognized and that we can be trusted. And love and belonging also goes with the family, and that we're respected. And these are definitely need-driven motivations for everybody that are in the workforce, learning, teachers, students, whatever it may be. But this is definitely a big motivation for those. Another one is the cognitive motivation theory. This is more concerned with our thoughts and how we use them to influence our actions. We were kind of we're thinkers as humans. We're very concerned of what other people think about us, and we're concerned of what else can I do to increase my productivity in any mental capacity. It's kind of how you conceive the information from today depends on how you thought of it yesterday, and its impacts on your tomorrow. This kind of information, this cognitive motivation theory, comes from the idea from Kurt Lewin and Vincent Broom. They were very strong theorists in this area, and I would highly recommend looking these individuals up and kind of get to know them and to, I guess, understand a little bit more of this motivation theory, since we are a little bit more limited on time. Here are some learning orientations. The inquiring mind, which identified different learning orientations such as goal, activity, and learning. We all have different, orientations of learning, and one of them is the first one that we come across is the goal one. A lot of us have goals, and as learners, we should have goals, and we should be motivated to learn, because that would gain a promotion at work, or an A in class, or whatever it may be. Set up those goals to really achieve what you want. Learners, we need to achieve something from what we've learned, and I definitely believe that some of these classes, especially through the OLP program and the CTE, we definitely are reaching different heights because of these classes. They really make us, not make us, but help us set more goals. Be more activity oriented as well, and that's exactly what we're doing through these PowerPoints, these voiceovers, whatever you may call it. as activities we're learning in groups and things like that. We it helps us to socialize and participate in different activities. Um, People that are activity oriented enjoy talking and meeting with new people, and I would challenge all of us to really try to be more activity oriented in these situations. And there's also the learning. Those are the ones that really like to delve in on a subject and to really learn about it, to really chomp at the bit and gobble all the information that they can. There is this power of theory margin, and this formula expresses the relationship of load to power. And we'll kind of talk about that load to power situation here, which is a great observation here. Here we have the load and power, and from that goes to external motivators and internal motivators. To calculate the power margin, first select the number of external and internal motivators. Power over load equals margin. Power over load, we do not want less power over load. That would cause us to be more likelihood of failure in such a task. Power over load increases the success in such a task. And if you have an equal amount of power to load, you're really not doing so much success or failing. You're kind of stagnant. Here is Let's Go's table, and the table is split into different sections: major motivational condition, motivational purpose, and motivational strategy. The strategies that are summarized in the table. Motivational purpose is, and this kind of gives the definition of each, and you're more than welcome to look over that. The three concepts that we find more are personal, internal positive, and external positive. We have a lot more internal positive that I see than I do see external. But there are different learners, different coworkers, different. Every situation is always different. And there's also the internal negative and external negative, such as fear of loss of job for the external negative, or relationship. An internal negative is like threats or fear of failure, inadequacy, just those feelings. Three concepts that affect motivation, again, is the social. Definitely, who you're around. It's the people in general have a motivation to engage with the people, to interact with people. Here, with this learning, is the driving influence from what we've talked about, the intrinsic and extrinsic forces, that really gives students power to learn more effectively. And the teachers are really the best source of motivation in a teaching-learning interaction, as we've come to find out, definitely. Some here of the information here of our resources of what we gained as the group. And again, with the group, I'm so grateful for them and the information that we're able to accumulate. And we're trying to narrow down as much information as we can possible. I would strongly encourage y'all to kind of go back through the PowerPoint that we've shared today and kind of look it over. And I just wanted to give you just a brief information of motivation and learning. But again, grateful for you guys and all that you do. So thank you.